I'm so inspired and moved by this moment. I'm grateful. When I think about all these people, these underdogs, you know, some former prisoners in jail for 20 years, one in jail for 7, they always inspire me. So when this pandemic hit, I knew that I had to do all I could to make sure that they could continue in this great place that they're headed towards in their lives, in their marriages, in the businesses that they started for themselves, in their own companies, in their houses, and sending their kids to school. And as I think about them, I thought about this moment I want to share with you really quickly. I was maybe about 18 years ago, I bought this house, and I kept getting these insane water bills. The water bills were just insane. Like, why are these water bills so crazy? I'm a single man living in this house. Anyway, my neighbor told me I needed to dig a well. So I called this guy over to come, an engineer. He comes out, and we're walking the yard, and he's putting out all of these orange flags as to all these places he thinks that we could find water. As he's digging one, I said, okay, go ahead. So as he starts digging this one well, didn't hit anything. And I was like, wait a minute, you just dug this deep and I still have to pay you even though you didn't hit water? He's like, that's how it goes. I'm like, okay, fine. So then he goes on to the next one. Little flag, he's digging, never hits water. He goes to the next one, never hits water. And I keep having to pay these bills. And I got so frustrated, I said, never mind, I'll just keep paying the water bill because I'm not going to do this. A few months passed, I still get these crazy water bills. So what I decided to do was call him back. So he comes back out. I said, you dig right here, this well, and you dig and you don't stop until you hit water. So he starts digging. He gets down to about 800 feet. He said, we haven't hit water. This is pretty deep. I said, you keep going. Gets down a little deeper, still has not hit water. I said, you keep going, you keep going. He said, okay, we're going to take the night off. We're over 1,000 feet deep. We'll be back in the morning. That night I thought about it. I said, you know what? I'm just wasting money. I'm not going to do it. As soon as he gets in the morning, I'm going to tell him to stop digging. That morning, he comes out. He starts the machine. I'm on my way down to him. The machine starts. He was 4 inches away from the water that I needed. Why am I telling you all this? Why am I talking about digging for water? In this world, we're all digging wells. In our lives, we're digging wells. We're digging wells in relationships where we put all this time and effort and energy, and sometimes it doesn't give us what we need. We put all our time and effort and energy in our dreams and our business, and it doesn't give us what we need or what we were after. But if you just keep digging, my God, if you could just hear me right now, just keep digging. You may be 4 inches away from every gift and every blessing that you've ever wanted in your life. Had I given up when I was homeless, when I was sleeping in my car, when I was hungry, had I given up, these people that you see on this screen right now would not be a part of my dream. There are people who are tied into your dream and your destiny, and you are worthy of getting to your goal. Keep digging. Don't stop. And let me tell you something, like I tell everyone here, listen to me. When you get there, when you get to that water and you see it's coming and you know you have what you need, this is what I want you to always remember. Make sure that everybody you run into meets you at your worth. So I want to say thank you to all of the people who voted for me to have this. I'm really inspired, I'm motivated, I'm moved, and I'm going to keep going. God bless you. I couldn't help but think about my mother. Sit down. I couldn't help but think about my mother. I remember being a kid, I was about 5 years old. She would take me into the projects with her when she played cards on Friday nights with a bunch of women. Now, these women didn't have more than a 12th grade education, but they were smart black women. They were powerful black women. They had great stories to tell. And I was a 5-year-old kid sitting there on the floor playing with my Matchbox cars, listening to them talk about their men, their relationships, and their pains. And when one of them would get really sad, another woman would come in and make a joke, and they'd all start laughing. I didn't know I was in a master class for my life. I would get home, and my father would be beating my mother and doing all kinds of things and saying all kinds of stuff to her, and he would leave the room, and I'd walk in, and I'd imitate one of those women, and she would start laughing. There was a power in that I didn't really get until I got older. I remember being about 11, 12 years old on my way to my new school, and I got to this intersection. I had to walk past pimps, prostitutes, literally walk through a graveyard, get to this intersection, 6-lane intersection. There was a man standing there saying, will someone help me cross? Will someone help me cross? And there were all of these people that kept passing by him. I said, I'll help you cross. So he told me he was going to my school and he was going to sell candy there. That's how he made his living. So I helped him cross the street to get there. We became good friends. His name was Mr. Butler. That moment reminded me of my mother, bringing her out of pain into laughter to help her cross. My first 10 movies were all about her subconsciously, wanting her to know that she was worthy, wanting black women to know you're worthy, you're special, you're powerful, you're amazing. All of that was about helping the cause. When I started hiring people like Taraji and Viola Davis and Idris Elba, they couldn't get jobs in this town, but God blessed me to be in a position to be able to hire them. I was trying to help somebody cross. When I built my studio, I built it in a neighborhood that is one of the poorest black neighborhoods in Atlanta, so the young black kids could see that a black man did that and they can do it too. I was trying to help somebody cross. That studio was once a Confederate Army base, and I want you to hear this, which meant that there was Confederate soldiers on that base plotting and planning on how to keep 3.9 million Negroes enslaved. Now that land is owned by one Negro. All about trying to help somebody cross. While everybody was fighting for a seat at the table, talking about Oscar so white, I said, y'all go ahead and do that. But while you fighting for a seat at the table, I'll be down in Atlanta building my own. Because what I know for sure is that if I could just build this table, God would prepare it for me in the presence of my enemies. Rather than being an icon, I want to be an inspiration. So thank you, BET, my new family. Thank you, everybody. I want you to hear this. Every dreamer in this room, there are people whose lives are tied into your dream. Own your stuff. Own your business. Own your way. God bless you. Thank you, BET. Thank you, Scott. I love you guys. Thank you.